and how we can possibly help you today. So we provide premium online healthcare solutions. We connect you with licensed professionals that provide access to all your medications. We handle the prescription. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. We handle the prescriptions. We handle the doctor visits. We ship it out to you. We don't have anything that you don't know about. So we give you pharmaceutical products to enhance your life that's sold online and delivered right to your house. Right? So let's move on. Now, this is a picture of me. As you can see, this picture has been of me. We provide solutions where maybe you can't get your solution, right? With so many people not being able to get semaglutide, tirzepatide covered by insurance, it's become a big thing today that it can be very costly. We're here to help you with great, affordable solutions so that you can succeed and still have some money left over at the end, right? So, we have weight loss meds, we have peptides. We can talk a little bit about what that means. Most people have only heard about the weight loss meds, but literally there's guides out there that can help you with anything. We're going to talk about that a little more later. We have options for weight loss, muscle retention, energy, menopausal issues, libido. Yes, I heard said that for women and men. Women and men, I get it too. Over 50, we hate to admit it, but that libido goes down. And we have something for that. There is almost a peptide out there for everything that Western medicine has a pill for. And we are just providing a more holistic approach to a whole wellness lifestyle. Okay. So coming soon, now this just a sneak peek. Coming soon, we're going to have things like plateau breakers and shakes for you guys. And we're going to be making this an entire place, just a one stop shop for your lifestyle. All right. So let's move on to the next slide. I'm going to show you what is, oh, I went one too far. Sorry, guys. That was me. One too far. What is included? What is included is your doctor visit, right? You got to have a doctor visit. That is one thing. We do a pre screening intake form. After that's done, it's sent to a doctor to review. That is non negotiable. You must do a doctor visit. We have no hidden extra fees, though. Some people I've heard get charged for prescription fees. They get charged a setup fee, a contract fee, a membership fee. They get charged all these hidden fees. We don't do anything. The price is the price. You heard me. The price is the price. Convenience. Totally delivered right to your door. Rain or shine, in the middle of winter, in summer, we get it to you safe and sound. And also, we have something that no one else has. No one, no one, no one, no one, no one else has. What is it? It is challenges, monthly challenges that you as a customer can go on and you can fill out a little thing that get you, I think you put in your name and your email and your phone, and you have an opportunity to win free medications. Did I say that? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. When FancyMeds came to me and said, we're giving away free meds, I'm like, what? What? Explain how this free meds work, right? So if you're a customer, uh, they have so many things. So you go on there every month, you can go on to the person who brought you here, and you go on to their page at the bottom and you click on the monthly challenge. You click on that monthly challenge, and you're going to get that to fill out, and you get a link. You have a little scissor there. You're gonna cut out that scissor and you share it. The more you share, the more entries you get. Plus, we have bonus entries. Bonus entries. And so after this, you guys can all run over to FancyMed to tell you that bonus entry until the end of this presentation, okay? So we do this for if you're doing this as a business, and we're going to talk a little bit more about how you can change your weight loss and your results into an actual business like I did. Yep. It's so great to be able to share what has changed your life, given you back your youth, your health, your fitness. It's so exciting and you can earn on it. So, what the challenges also help do for those of you interested in a business side is it helps us spread the word to help grow your business. It helps you find out which of your friends or family members might be interested, right, in winning free medication. Okay, I'm so excited. I just get so excited over the free medication. So let's go over our company mission and vision. All right. Our vision is that we're here to give you high quality meds, low cost peptides that are shipped right to your home with no hidden fees. I've said that before, I'm saying it again. Our vision is that we want to provide you products with purpose so that you can also share these products and get a financial return. All right. We do want to help you grow. I am so excited that I can turn what's changed my life into an actual business opportunity. Fancy Meds is here to help you take control of your health and live better every day through peptides. So I love our company vision and our mission. Let's go to show you a little bit about what makes us different. What makes us different? I'm going to take a sip of water now, right? What do you guys like the most about when you're a customer? For me, I like getting free things. I like getting discounts. I like being able to save money. So one of the things that Fancy Meds has totally built in is that they built in $500 back in your medication when you refer 3 people in 30 days. It can be any rolling 30-day period. You start getting results and you want to share it with your friends, but you're not sure if you want a business. That's fine. We'll still give you 500 bucks towards your next meds of your choice. That's all there is to it. Now, what other things that make us different is I think one of the only ones I've ever seen that everyone gets a $75 off their first weight loss and $20 off their first peptide order. Now, that is amazing for our customers, but also amazing if you're selling this and you're going out and sharing this opportunity, right? Because we're able to provide someone with a discount, something that's valuable that they're not getting off anywhere else. And we can really help them start their journey at a much lower cost. We also will have specials and things throughout the year, but on average, every new customer gets $75 off. We also provide the opportunity to have a growing business with residual income, with no sign up fees, and no required product to buy and no quotas. Now, if you've never sold before, that just means a lot of blah, right? Whatever. But if you sold before and you have to make a quota and you're forced to sell a certain amount per month, or you might not be able to sell the next month, or you'll lose a rank or something. It just is really hard. And we're not here to do that to you. We're here to be just straight across the board. We may be fancy meds, but we're not fancy when it comes to our comp plan, right? One of the things is all of our people who are with us as our health advisors, they're going to get 20% off of their meds for life. So that's a huge incentive to be a health advisor, right? To get 20% off for life. But let's talk real numbers here. Say you do decide not to just do and refer a few people, but you really want to work this as a business. Maybe it's part time. Maybe you just need 500 bucks to like get through to get on a vacation, or you just need to get through because your washer dryer broke, or you really want to go at this for extra money during the year, or really want to take this to the next level and have a full time business. How can you do it? How does it work? What can you make? So let's go down and look. If you have from 0 to $499 in what we call commissionable value, and we'll talk about that in a minute, you make 20%. So you start at 20%, and based on that value of your personal sales on that commissionable value, it will go up to 40%. And you can see in the chart below, it starts at 500, moves to 1,000, 2,500, and 5,000. You don't need to worry about those till you get there. But basically, we start at 20 and we cap off at 40. It doesn't say anything about having a team. It doesn't say anything about forcing you to sell so much a month to make 20 or 40. But every month it resets, and this is your commission that you can get each month. You don't need a team. Many people love being in sales but don't want a team. They don't want to manage a team. And that's fine. You don't have to manage a team here. We just want you to be able to share what you love. But what if you want to manage a team, right? If you want to manage a team, we have an amazing residual comp plan for you. In a residual comp plan, ranks and levels. You don't have to have qualifiers, or you only make 35% of one line or one leg or another leg. It's too complicated. We made a fancy meds comp plan that's so easy a kid can understand it. That's how easy it is, right? So let's look at Health Advisor 1. Health Advisor 1, we have a personal volume and a group volume. Group volume would just be your team's volume. So we start out at up to $500. You don't even have to have anything. But you have 500 in group volume, get 10%. Then you go to 500, you get 10%. And if they have somebody join them, you can get another 7%. And so on down the road. As a health level 3, you have some minimum requirements. You can then get still that 10, the 7, but we add another level to give you 5 more percent. And we cap it off at a fourth health advocate level. If you make your personal sales of 1,000, you have a group volume of 5,000 in your group, you will make the 10% on your first people that joined. The next people, their people that joined, you'll make a 7%. The people who joined them, you'll make 5%, and then 2%. That is a phenomenally generous comp plan. So FancyMeds has set you up for success. Totally set you up for success. So I wanted to go over this plan with you guys today. Now let's discuss our terminology. That was a lot for those of you that aren't normally in sales, right? So let's discuss a little bit about terminology. CV is the commissionable value. We have to put a commissionable value on our products because inside of our products, we have administration fees, we have shipping, we have mailing, we have pharmacy fees, doctor fees. After all those administrative costs are taken out, we give you a commissionable value for that medication. So if you were on that first part of the chart, so we're going to use the first line as our first example, and you sold $250 in semaglutide, and you were only had one customer, maybe two, you'd probably be at 20%, you'd make $50 that month. If you had more people join and you were at the 25% level, you'd make $62.50, all the way up to $100. So we're kind of going up here, and you're seeing how it goes up. Well, all we've done is we've taken our cost per product, giving you what your commissionable value is, and then you can use that chart depending on how much you personally sold to know how much you'll make. That's, we actually give you the numbers. If you are at 20% and you've sold, 250, for every 250, you make $50. So you can keep going up that chart. It is so great, right? So let's go on to our final words. We've learned our commissionable volume. We have group volume. That's the volume you make on your team. If you choose to have a team, all of the things that they sell is called your group volume. Everything below you, that's your group volume. And so, as we talked, all commissions are based on a commissionable volume, and we make a percentage between 20 and 40% on that volume. If you choose to have a team, you can make residual income. FancyMeds is here. We're empowering your health and driving your success. Thank you so much for watching this presentation today. Make sure you get back to the person who sent you this link for the presentation. Talk to them about being a FancyMed customer, possibly maybe joining our FancyMed Health Advocate team. And we're going to have a question and a Q&A session right after this. We're going to do that in just a moment. We're going to stop the recording now and do our Q&A. All right, let's look in the chat. Are there any questions? Oh, when did I start GLP-1s? Oh my. I started GLP-1s when they were babies. When they were um I started with one that I got from my doctor called Victoza. And then I went to one called Trulicity. These were the really, really early medications. So I started those in, I believe, early 23. I then took 6 months off because I wasn't liking the side effects from them and started using some semaglutide. And then my insurance stopped covering it. So I was using Ozempic and my insurance stopped covering that. And after they stopped covering it, I went looking for a compound for a company like FancyMeds. FancyMeds wasn't out at that time, but there was a different company out at that time that I found a compound from, and that's when I started my semaglutide and tirzepatide journey on compounds around the end of 23. I stayed on semaglutide through 23. I started tirzepatide November of 23. And by April of 24, I had almost reached my goal. I think I reached my goal in May of 24. Let's see what other questions we have. Yeah, it's been almost 2.5 years for my journey, but I have also lost an inordinate amount of weight on GLP-1s. I've lost way to the high 200s. All right, let's see what else we have as questions today. How was the weight loss journey? When did you lose all the weight at one When did you lose all the weight at once, in ones or a series of plateaus? Okay, yes. So I've always stayed on for 3 months, and then I've taken a 3 week break to give my body a reset. Some people think, oh no, I have to go off of it, but I really do think it gives your body a reset point. And then I start on either the next tier or go back to the tier I was on, depending on how well I was doing and how much weight I was losing at the end of that tier. So when I hit a plateau, I would take a couple weeks off. That wasn't always most optimal. I then realized that sometimes you need a little bit of a more protein. You have to adjust it. So I have a few more tips that we've learned since that time. But I did have some plateaus that I hit, and it is kind of defeating because these aren't inexpensive medications. So when you have an antibiotic that the doctor gives you and it's not strong enough, you feel like a month later, if it's not working well, you just get another one. But when you paid a couple $100 for something and you have to it isn't working as well, you start getting discouraged. But everything takes time. My first month, I lost some weight, mostly in the very first 2 weeks. Then I kind of started going less and less weight a week. And I was getting worried by like the second week, I wasn't losing that much, but I started losing inches in the second month, not pounds, inches. And then in the third month, I started losing weight again and inches. So sometimes it's a process. Sometimes it's a really big process with the GLP-1s on how long it might take you and your personal body to do that. Let's see what else we got. How long did it take before you started seeing results? Instantly. Instantly. The first week I took GLP-1s, the food noise stopped. I felt like I was able to concentrate more on work, get more things done without thinking of food all day. And I think my first week, I want to say I lost almost 7 pounds my first week, but I was much larger than most people. But I start the first week, instant results for me. And then it continued on from there. Let's see. What other questions do we today? What mindset? Oh, that's a good one. What mindset shifts helped me most during my journey? What mindset? I think the mindset that you don't have to change anything is wrong. You see this on the internet all the time. Change nothing and I lose weight. No, it isn't like that. You need to really start with a whole food diet. You need to start cutting out the sugars and the extra chemicals and all the extra things that have been keeping weight on your body. Chemicals aren't good for you. So, yes, I cut out sodas. I cut back on things. It didn't happen all at once, but I really did one of the things is I had a very big aversion to oil when I was on tirzepatide. People get different aversions, some to sweets, some to alcohol, whatever it chooses to pick for you. For me, oily, greasy foods did not settle well with me. I just felt really like an unsettled stomach, like my stomach was kind of sour. So I feel like um, that you'll find out what foods are good and bad for you, but you crave more whole foods. So the mindset for me was getting out of the mindset that I was going to stop by a fast food every night after work and that I was going to buy a whole chicken from Fred Meyer and eat off that chicken during the week or eat chicken soup or eat something different than fast food. So I think the mindset of, oh, it's magic and instant. In the beginning, when you hear it on the internet, it just sounds like it's this magic shot that's going to fix everything. But you do have to really want to change your lifestyle to a more whole food type lifestyle. All right. What would you tell someone who feels stuck? Okay. When I felt stuck, that is a hard one. But what I did was I changed up what I did. I know that sounds a word. Did I say that right? I changed up what I did. So if I was walking on a treadmill, I would try a different exercise. You do have to move. One of the things that I learned and that helped me break a plateau was to walk 5 minutes after every meal. Walk around the restaurant. If you're at a restaurant, walk around. Go to the bar. Say hello to some people. Come back to your seat. If it's a nice day, walk around the restaurant outside and come back. But you have to move. And I think little subtle changes like that can really help you. Trading something. Some people were eating like one of my customers was saying they were eating like apples and peanut butter. That's not a great combination. One's high in sugar, one's super high in more of a carby fruit. Change it to a dark chocolate with a strawberry. Piece of dark chocolate with strawberry. So it's just changing the things around to break your plateaus. Maybe you've been eating the same types of food every morning. You're eating the same thing, or you're having a protein shake instead of a real breakfast. That's one of my no-nos. Protein shakes are not meal replacements, people. They're just not. They are something in the middle of the day that you need when you feel you need extra protein or extra energy. Like people would use an energy drink, that is what a protein shake is for. All right, what else do we got on here? All right. Okay. What if I'm skeptical about hitting myself, sir? And yes. All right, that is the biggest fear I get when I'm talking to people. It is scary until the first time you do it. It's a tiny needle. Now, think about this diabetics, millions of them all over the world, do this 10 to 12 to 15 times a day. They poke themselves with the needle, they have to check their blood sugars. It's smaller than what they have to do. So, my husband is diabetic, and he was telling me that it's smaller than when he had to give himself injections. So, it's a very tiny needle. It does have a scare factor. Once you get through it, most people go, "Oh, that's all it was." But it does have kind of a scare to it. But you will be fine. I have actually sat here, walked through it with you. I have videos of me doing it live. Yes, I know I'm crazy. I did it live in the beginning. I would do Facebook Lives to show people. Yes, I had shorts on. I did it in my thigh. Um, and I was way not too brave when I was overweight to show my belly. No way would I show my belly on camera. Um, but we were here to support you. If you need tips on how to do the injection, you want to actually have a Zoom with me, I'll do a Zoom with you and I'll get you through. Get you through. Okay, what else do we got? All right. Let's go down and see if there's a few more here. Hold on. Need to widen my screen out a little bit. Hold on here. Okay. What? Did I miss one? Did I miss one? Did I feel defeated because I could not do it on my own exercise diet and had to resort to medication? No, I did not feel defeated. I felt empowered. From the moment I took that injection, it was freedom, food freedom for me. I literally did not have any skepticism of it. I really did not feel like I was defeated. What I was worried about was would I fail again? And I didn't. And none of my customers have failed. Not one so far. Not one has failed. And I don't know any other program that tells me that. And that's why I'm with FancyMeds. Because I don't fail. And I haven't failed. And I'm over a year and a half out of my maintenance and I haven't gained my weight back. And I live a good, healthy lifestyle. I can now exercise and walk. When I couldn't exercise and walk, I think I felt more defeated in the wheelchair than I did by taking the medications. What you will, if you are talking to other people about it, you might have to have a little bit of a thick skin because some people, I've had people tell me that they think I'm cheating because I'm doing the shots, but I'm not cheating anyone. I'm not cheating myself. I'm empowering myself to live a better life and to live a longer life. Longevity is the key, right? We all want to live longer. I don't want to die. I don't want to die because of a heart attack or an obesity caused disease. I had 5 cancers. Four of my 5 cancers is an obesity related cancer. Four of them. And my doctors never told me that it could save my life being at a typical or average weight. There is no perfect weight. I don't go by size charts. I don't even know if I can tell you this now. I don't think I would have even believed myself. If I told myself this 3 years ago, I wouldn't even believe, not even 2 years ago would I believe it, that I don't step on a scale ever. I go by my clothes now and the inches and how they fit because my clothes size hasn't moved in a year and a half. I had never had a year in my life that my clothes size didn't move once. Not once. So it's super empowering to me. What else do we got? We got another question. So do you feel healthier? Oh, yes. I feel way healthier. I felt like my eyes were getting dark. I did not have good nutrition. One of the things I think happens is when you're dieting and you're doing extreme dieting or not even non-extreme dieting, is you're trying to find diet products, diet foods. It's a lot of chemicals. A lot of chemicals you're putting in your body trying to be thin. You're eating all this saccharin and all these chemicals and artificial sweeteners trying not to be fat, and all it's doing is putting more chemicals into your body. So as it's putting all those chemicals into your body, it's making you retain fluids, retain things, swell up, be bloated, have more inflammation in your body, and you're not feeling healthy even when you're doing those diet foods. So I feel much healthier because within about 2 weeks now, this might be TMI, people, but I started peeing. I mean, the first 2 weeks, I peed and peed because it was getting all this inflammation out of me. I had so much inflammation on my legs, in my face, my stomach, everywhere I had inflammation, especially around my ankles. And within weeks, it was gone. Like within 2 to 3 weeks, it just kept going down and down and down and shrinking that inflammation down. Okay, what else do we got going on? Do, do, do. Let's see. Do I have more or less energy when I first started? I mean, does it give you more energy jolts or do I feel tired? Okay, so I would say it doesn't really, I feel energized, but because I'm getting better sleep, I'm getting better nutrition by eating proper foods rather than eating the fast food and stuff too. That was really not aiding my energy levels. People think it, but I would eat sugary things and then crash. So one of the things I did learn, so somebody was asking me about tips. So let's combine these two questions. There's a question down here about tips. Where was the question that somebody had asked me about a tip? Hold on, I missed it. I think they were asking me about some tips or if I had a tip on something. Hold on. Where did it go? I missed it. Oh, I missed it. Well, anyway, I was going to go on with my tips. So, one of the things that I've learned is figure out your own pattern. I'm not a breakfast eater. The most important meal of the day is when you start eating your meal of the day. It doesn't have to be at 8 in the morning. It doesn't have to be a protein take shoved in at the last minute. But certain tips like taking time to eat your food, really taking time to eat your food. Like my husband's from Japan. And in Japan, it is absolutely rude if you walk around eating food, even from a food vendor. They have seats all over the park. You're supposed to eat your food, enjoy your food, and then continue on. We are so used to in America eating in the car, shoving things down, running out the door. We have kids to do. We have a carpool to get to, or this to get to, or whatever you have to do. Business is going on. I have to catch a flight. I don't have time. Um, but you need to take that time. Most people don't realize you actually gain weight when you have stressful eating. I said it. Stressful eating. Which leads back to the one that was asking me about the tips. Food combinations are a huge tip. What you eat and in what combinations and when. For example, I can eat a dessert, but I have to have a fermented product or yogurt before I have that dessert, or my sugar will spike. What we don't want and what GLP-1s help you do is maintain your insulin levels at a steady level. And as you're maintaining it at a steady level, your energy stays at a steady level. What makes you tired? Sugar crashes. That's what makes you tired. Being honest, you get on this sugar rush and then people have donuts in the morning and sugary foods and cereals get a crash. Or in the middle of the afternoon, you decide to pick up that muffin or pick up a cookie from the lunchroom, and then all of a sudden you feel a crash. That's because that sugar, you get this super big sugar high, way too much, and you didn't have any fermented products before it. And now your energy is all over the place, and you feel like you need an energy drink, but you really don't. You feel like you need caffeine, but you really don't. You just need to figure out where that sugar stays level, when to eat the meals, when not to overindulge in sugar without doing something to counteract it. All right, what else do we got here? All right. Do I have that was a food hack. So yeah, that was the food hacks that helped me. And let's see, some of the food hacks I have done for breaking a plateau is I like to take I look for things that are whole vegetables and fruits that don't have a lot of chemicals. So I really look for anything I eat that has less than 5 or 6 ingredients on it, or I won't buy it. So you have to look at how many ingredients on it. If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. Really, really, really. I did a demonstration with somebody the other day. You eat Oreos, right? Everyone's eating Oreos. I've eaten Oreos. I've eaten thousands of Oreos in my lifetime. I took a medical grade torch at 2,400 degrees, and I couldn't melt the Oreo nor the frosting inside that Oreo. That is telling you how it's not like the Oreos that your parents or your grandparents ate. That Oreo is now full of so many chemicals that it won't burn. You can't burn it. That means it's probably not a real food because food burns. When you put things on a barbecue and it falls in, it burns because it's real. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. Okay, what else do we got? We're getting close to questions. What keeps you going when my motivation fades? And do I ever miss my old eating habits? No. I truly never miss my old eating habits. I could pass by any fast food place and it doesn't tempt me at all. I've literally had candy or things sitting out here, but I don't want to eat chemicals. And it's not even that, it's that I don't crave the sugar. I got like candy at the holiday time and it took me like a month to eat it. A whole month because I just ate a piece here, a piece there. I feel like what's it made me become is what a naturally thin person is. People, what do you mean, right? What is naturally thin? Naturally thin people, they graze on food. They eat when they want to eat. They don't eat when they don't want to eat. I became more of a naturally thin person rather than always being hungry and always wanting to put food in my mouth all the time, never being satisfied or really full, but more so satisfied with the foods that I ate. What keeps my motivation from fading? Seeing those clothes in the closet. I've never been like this. Thing, I can push this back a little bit. I'm going to try to push my thing back a little bit here without ruining my whole camera for you guys. But if you can see, I'm crossing my legs. I'm crossing my legs. I have never in my life crossed my legs. I think that was the one thing I wanted to do most in my life was actually cross my legs. And the motivation for me is every little health journey step along the way. Every time I realize that I haven't changed my clothing size, I don't even need, I mean, and as you're going down in weight, every time you get a new size, it's like, yes, I'm telling people, stop when I'm an extra large. I've never been an extra large. If I could just be an extra large, that's all I want to be. I just want to be under 200 pounds and an extra large. That's all I want to be. And then I kept going and I kept going. And now I'm a small, extra small, size 2'4". And I've been a size 2'4" since May of 24, May of 24. So almost a year and a couple months. So my motivation is the compliments I get from people who haven't seen me in a long time. And I realize I might be stuck in a plateau right now, but I'm way farther ahead than I ever used to be. Than I ever used to be in any other plan, any other diet, any other thing I've ever tried in my life. I've never gotten these results. And I'm telling you, it is life changing. All right, let's look down what else we got. And then we're going to have to get going in a few minutes. Let's see. Do I ever miss? Ooh, hold on. I went too far. Do I ever miss my old eating habits? We went through that. Oh, you are welcome. You're more than welcome. Is it just as if you're not hungry? No, it's not just that you're not hungry. And did I get nausea and was it bad? Okay, so let's talk about those things because did I just not get hungry? No, that's not what it's like. When you take the GLP-1, you start realizing you aren't focusing on food. For those of us that have the food noise in our head, there's two different kinds of people. People who have been situationally gain weight. They have menopause. They can't get off the last 30 pounds. They've mostly been an athlete their whole life, but they gain 30 or 40 pounds. They're in a different space. Or there's people like me who have been heavy and fat my entire life. I've been overweight and obese my entire life. So there's two different people taking this medication. All right. So the people who have mostly been thin their whole life, they do not have as much food noise going on in their head. They have situational things they need to change to get to their ideal weight. Those of us that have been having our whole life, you know who I'm talking about. I'm that person, right? I can't stop thinking about it. I think about it all day, all night. Every vacation, I think about what ice cream store is around, what sweet treat is around, whatever it was that my body thought I needed to satisfy salt, sweet, oily, craving, whatever. I would always want that. Um, and it just takes that craving of what you used to want, the cravings out. So not the hunger, but the cravings are just gone and you don't crave for it. I used to be Amazon's number one online shopper. I was the person that had 157 items in my cart at any given time, and I loved it. I was, oh my gosh. Not anymore. I don't do that anymore. I don't have obsessive habits. So what it does is it helps breaks you down from these cravings or obsessive things that you've done in your life. They have actually been using it in other treatments. It's not just a weight loss medication. It's used in for people for gaming addictions and for people that have stuff like that and alcohol addictions. So it is eating food and cycling on food all the time is an addiction. I had a food addiction. I always wanted food and thought about food 24/7. All right, let's see what else we got going on. The nausea. Okay, so there is going to be nausea. It depends on the med you have, right? Nausea is more likely to happen on semaglutide. Semaglutide works on one receptor. It has a little bit more nausea. Tirzepatide doesn't have as much. We give you nausea medication, anti-nausea medication that you can get at your local pharmacy. We'll give you a prescription. They call it into your local pharmacy and you just go pick it up. If you want that, I suggest if you're nervous about that, you take it an hour before your first injection. That's all I tell people. I did it the first time, I never needed it. Some people do it always an hour before their first injection because they don't want to have a feeling of being sick. Most people have a feeling of nausea, though, because they overeat. As you overeat, you get food averse on a GLP-1, meaning that you get to a certain point and food just is like, I don't want to take another bite of that. I'm just full. I'm really full. So you get kind of food averse, and people who push it, like instead of having one glass of wine, they have three or four, they might feel sick because if we push the limits, we're trying to keep insulin steady and they push that limit over that sugar limit. So that's when most people feel nausea. They don't usually admit it, but it's when they've done something sweet. They've drinking alcohol at night and they didn't just have a drink of some vodka with a light bit of soda in it. They had something sugary sweet and that pushed their sugar over made them feel very nauseated. It can happen to anyone. It happens to maybe 15% of people that take semaglutide will get nauseated. About 5% or so that take tirzepatide get nauseated. And for me, I never did. But I always make sure I drink water. I just always make sure I'm hydrated. And we have tips and tricks that we're going to give you as well if you come over to Fancy Meds. All right. Does it work for everyone? Don't know. I'm not everyone, but I know that it's worked for everyone that I've signed up, and then all of my customers have had great results. And I thought I had somebody who couldn't be on it, and they could. So there's so far been not one person that qualifies for the medication that hasn't had a good result on the medication. So I hope that answers your question. All right. How about if you just want to lose 20 pounds? Right, for you, I think you can. On semaglutide, you're going to lose about 30 pounds in 6 months. On tirzepatide, you're going to lose 30 to 40 in 3 months. So you would be a person who, if you're only 20 pounds down, you're not a person who's been obese or heavy your whole life or had a lot of chronic illnesses. You're probably going to do one round of tirzepatide and be back to where you need to be to keep in line, do your training, do your physical fitness, be back up to your optimal fitness level again. So I think it would be perfect for you. But you probably won't have to do it a longer time. Somebody who has more weight to lose, like me, 200 pounds, I had to do 3 or 4 rounds of this stuff, right? Because I needed to keep going to get to my optimal weight loss goal. All right, what else we got? I think I'm coming to my last question. Last question of the night. And so, how do you actually do the selling of Fancy Meds? Are you selling to friends? Oh, yes. Okay, let's talk about this. How are you selling? Socially, of course, but mostly I share by I had a result. I did the medication. I was on a GLP-1, so I had a result. I had lost weight. When I lost my first 30, 40 pounds, people started noticing and asking what I did. So, first of all, I didn't have to go sell it for per se, because people will ask you as they see your results and you're posting on social media. They just see it just from you posting your normal post, like, oh, they're getting thinner. Just like when you notice somebody on social media and like you're like, oh, they gained some weight, right? We've been there. I'm guilty of that. I've seen somebody and been like, oh, they gained some weight. Not that I'm judging them, but that you notice they gain weight. They'll notice you've lost weight on social media. Um, just selling to friends? No. That would be the great for the referral program. You want to invite a few friends. You've had some great result, but you want to just invite a few friends, get that $500 med difference. You can maybe, if you don't need the medical weight loss, you can do it NAD. You get that PT 141, which me and my husband love PT 141. I can send you a video on that later, a private video on my testimony on PT 141. I love that med. But you can't live by selling to friends alone. If you want it as a business, if you own a coffee business, would you make profit only selling to your family and friends coffee? Wouldn't you just run out of coffee in like 10 or 12 times and they just sit there all day long not selling anything? So, no, I would say it's sharing, going out. I organically talk about it. We do have some social selling techniques we can give you on social selling techniques, but really it's sharing, sharing what you love. If you love your results, share it. And if you're excited about it and people want to do it, then make some money at it. That's all we're showing you. You can either do it as a customer side and just get a couple $100, a $500. You can do it as an affiliate, in which you can get a $500 fast start bonus for the same thing. You sign up and you get 3 customers in your first 30 in the 30-day period for your first 30 days. You get $500 extra. We don't care if you're a customer or what we call an affiliate or health advocate. Either way, you're going to get that $500 bonus if you get 3 people in 30 days. So then it's how much you want to share and go out and actually share. We have many ways we can share. I often share to hairstylists who are very interested in having this as a service in their salon, that they can offer it to people, and they start sharing, and there goes down that team chain where you're getting a little residual income. If you're just looking at not building, building a team and just selling yourself, just go out and keep sharing it for yourself. That's all you have to do. So we can give you more selling techniques later, but you basically, I think it'd be by talking to people, going online, showing your results, and being who you are, because you're your best representation of the product. Because we don't have a physical product. It comes from a pharmacy. I don't have anything at my house. I don't have any inventory to sell or nothing to keep or anything like that. But we are our product. We are showing them. So we're now getting to an hour. I have got to cut this short. Thank you so much for your time today. I so appreciate it. Everyone have a wonderful day, and we will see you here next Thursday at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. Have a fancy day.